Alright, in this video, we're going to be showing off my LS Swapped Xtreme Blazer. I think this will be the first time it's been on our channel, so I'm going to give an overview of it and show you what all we've done to it so far. I bought this thing in 2016. It was my first vehicle. Jarrett and Denny and them convinced me I needed an S series, so this was the one I went with. It had 250,000 miles on it whenever I bought it. And now it has over 315,000 miles on it. So everybody back in the day had already finished their LS Swap projects. Denny and Jarrett are both driving their LS Swapped S10s before I even started on this swap. And there was nothing wrong with the 4.3 that was in it, but I wanted to go ahead and get the swap over with. So I picked up this 4.8 from Bowtie Boneyard, 4L60 behind it, put a stage 4 BTR truck cam in it, and a 3200 stall in the trans. This motor was actually put in 2021, and I'm still yet to drive it. But hopefully that'll change soon, because we have been going ham on it, trying to fix everything that was wrong, get all the wiring finished. And yeah, I'm gonna go through and show you what all we've done so far. Okay, so everything that we've done to it so far is put the stage 4 BTR truck cam in, bigger injectors, 3200 stall. It's got hooker headers on it. I don't know how good you can see them from here. GM muscle car oil pan, Dirty Dingo motor mounts. In this, we just have the stock 4.3 radiator, dual electric fans. Some people think that you have to notch your core support out to get one of these to fit in there, but you don't. It should fit just fine. I knew once I started this swap that I wanted to keep AC, so we did get the motor to fit in there with the factory AC box. And normally, if you wanted to run AC in the factory LS spot, you would have to notch your frame on an S10. So I went ahead and got a relocation bracket from ICT Billet and a compressor from Vintage Air, and then it fits in there pretty good. But I did have to mount the computer without the coolant reservoir on it, because the reservoir was way too big and it hit the compressor. And then also the battery is also supposed to be here. It was also too big to fit, so I have relocated it to the driver's side. So all I have left to do on the AC is get custom lines made for it and get it filled with Freon, and it should work. Me and Jarrett also made custom battery cables, since I did have to relocate my battery from the passenger to the driver's side. Eventually, I'm going to put it in the trunk, but for now, it's going to be there. The wiring harness on this thing is made by JH Performance, a buddy of ours here in Grayson County. It is an integrated harness, so whenever I'm done, all my factory gauges and everything should work with it. This motor has been in here for almost 4 years now, and I did let it sit. We had some problems with it the first time that we started it. I've only got to hear it run for about 30 seconds, but it does still sound healthy. The first time that I ever started it, we didn't have any coolant lines hooked up or anything, no radiator in it at all. We just wanted to make sure it ran good. After we got it to run a couple times, we did run into some issues, which postponed the build, but we are pretty much at the finish line now. Got a couple kinks to work out. Back in the day, we could never get it to start with the key, but it turns out that I was using the spare key the whole time and not the actual ignition key. So last night we did some test fires on it, and I got it to crank with the key and shut off with the key. Some other problems that we ran into while doing this build was my coil packs would not fit with the bracket on there. It would hit my oil neck on that side, and on this side the brake booster would not let it sit in there right. So what we ended up doing was just taking the coil packs completely out of the brackets and mounting them to the valve covers, and they all fit. I still have some odd ends to finish up in the engine bay, but it is about 95% complete. I got to finish this radiator hose, get it mounted the right way I want to. clean up all this wiring, make it look better. Coolant overflow reservoir mounted. I'm probably gonna have to mount it somewhere down here by the core support because there is no other place for it to fit. Last night we finally test fired it again after about 3 years of not hearing it run, and it was backfiring super bad. We think that backfiring was caused due to old gas in the tank. So we have to get that resolved and some other little issues, and then got to do exhaust and get it tuned. And then hopefully next time you guys see a video on this thing, we are test driving it either on the streets or on the track.